technology here. I'll tell you what blew me away. I got a driver's license in less than 30 minutes here in the UAE. In America, it'd take you the entire day. You'd have to go find a babysitter for your kids for the time being. You'd have to make sure you're sitting there wasting your time. And as an entrepreneur, time is money.
Ron, welcome to Brew, Bytes.
Thank you for having me, brother. I appreciate you.
My man, we got to know each other very quickly at an event, and what I got to know very, very quickly was that you've built businesses, you've written books, created content at scale, right?
Yeah.
And you recently moved from the US to the UAE, and it gives me goosebumps when I hear about this, man, right?
I can't believe I did it.
But I don't want this to be a relocation story.
Yeah.
I want to understand what actually changes when you build from here. So when you first landed here, right, and you started setting up life, what genuinely surprised you the most?
The 25 suitcases that came with me. That's what surprised me, But life has a way of coming full circle. We've manifested this, my wife and I, for our family, and for those, who are viewing this, who understand the art of manifestation. It's you dream about it, you think about it, you attract it. It's the law of attraction, right? Even in our beautiful religion of Islam, it teaches us to manifest goodness, manifest, great things in life, and being able to, provide for my family is just a cherry on top. I'm just following my passion, at the end of the day. But, moving here to the UAE from the US has definitely been for the positive. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah. And I don't miss the homelessness. I don't miss the high crime. I don't miss the craziness that's going on right now, in America. The economic turmoil, is just saddening. It used to be, a joke. Now it's just sad. It's gotten to that point where, America is leading its way to the next, depression. It's going to be insane what's going to happen with the U.S. economy. And it happens. History has a habit of repeating itself. And, I don't want to be there in America when that does happen, because many people do remember 2008 when the world economy, when the U.S. economy especially crashed due to the stock market, and everyone had to rebuild back up from there. So, but, I decided to uproot my entire family from the U.S., take my businesses and move it to a country that wants me to grow, that doesn't penalize me for my success, that wants me to go out there and create jobs and help other people and ultimately help them put food on their plate. Because that's what an entrepreneur does. We are crazy as entrepreneurs, right? We believe in ourselves before the world believes in us, right? So it's not just about me, waking up, putting on my clothes, clocking in, clocking out. This is about me waking up, managing people, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to do so they can put food on their plate and ultimately, have a lifestyle that they wouldn't have without, working for either one of my companies or whatever it is. But I'm a big believer in automation, delegation, and duplication.
Duplication?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. What would you duplicate?
I'll duplicate myself. Try as much. In the business world, they say that if you try to get at least 50% of who you are as an entrepreneur, you've made it. Because you'll never find someone just like you, right? Because here's the reality of it. We look at our companies as a baby and as a child and as it's raising, and it's very hard to let go of that child when it's learning to walk, because you don't want that child to stumble and fall and break a bone or anything like that, right? It's a given in a company, and people will come in, they'll try internally, even employees will even try to, run things their way when they have no idea what they're doing and they think they know what they're doing. And that's the biggest thing, is to delegate, automate, delegate, and duplicate. And I try to do those three things whenever I do start a business, because firing yourself as an entrepreneur is the best thing you'll ever do. And what do I mean by that? Meaning, whenever you build a company, you hire someone, you hire people to run that company. Obviously, you're going to oversee what's going on within that company, but delegation is key. If you don't delegate, you just got yourself a glorified job. You know, the number one mistake that entrepreneurs make, especially, you know, someone who's getting into the business, is becoming their own employee, right? If they don't turn the key to that door,
Right.
they don't make any money, right? And the goal is to make money. Absolutely, 100%. So I kind of went on a tangent there.
No,
But
you've seen a lot of influx coming from Southern Europe into
Mhm.
the Middle East, from the south of France. If you just look at that belt of
Yeah.
Europe, the UK, without a doubt. I think the UK was one of the highest recorded. Actually, no, in the UK last month, they saw the highest number of leavers leaving the UK.
Mass exodus.
Exodus.
Yeah, it's happening in America as well.
So it's
Yeah.
in deficits of immigration now. So where those people who didn't want immigration to happen, it's happening now. No one's going now. So
Yeah. No, it's happening, and we're waking up.
yeah,
Especially the common man is waking up to know, hey, something's not right.
yeah.
Right? When your body is sick, it tells you something's not
But
right.
look, what's beautiful thing here is that you know, you have the you've got the access to the golden visa, which you know pretty well.
I do.
right?
Yes, I've been blessed enough to receive the UAE golden
Yeah.
visa.
And
yes.
how amazing is it for a country to be able to say, we'll give you a 10-year residency here based on maybe your skill set that you have, a
Yes.
uniqueness, a business you might want
Or
to open,
talent,
a
or
talent, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
You don't really get many countries that will identify and pluck people out here.
No.
How do you find that whole experience?
Oh man, I'm indebted and grateful to the country of the UAE. Shout out to Creators HQ. They have a very soft spot in my heart for, you know, introducing this at the 1 billion summit last year. As a matter of fact, 1 billion summit is coming up in a couple of weeks as well. But, you know, I saw the opportunity, and we were looking at different countries as well. Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, you know, obviously in the UAE. And, you know, I saw an opportunity and I said, you know what, let me apply for this and see where it goes. And this is actually very recent. You talk about a very fresh topic. I applied for the UAE Golden Visa, I remember in either May or June. And by August, I applied in April. And by August, I was here in the UAE picking up my 10-year golden visa. And that golden visa is a very big deal here. Apparently, I had no idea. Well, now I do, but it's a 10-year residency to come live, work, tax-free, right? Come reside in the UAE, bring your family, and your family gets their golden visas. So this was an initiative by the UAE government and Creators HQ to bring the top of the top, the cream of the crop content creators to the UAE to live here, work here, you know, build businesses here. And that's exactly what I, you know, intend to do, because I'm a real estate content creator.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, generating over 400 million views across social media. You know, somebody somewhere, you know, saw a small town boy from a small part of Houston, which is the ghetto, you know, said, hey, you know what? We like his content. Hey, let's invite him here. Hey, let's bring him here so he can, you know, come live here, play here, right? And that's all, Rich. That's all rich people do is play. But it's a beautiful initiative because they have a goal to invite 10,000 content creators here. And I don't know what number I came on, but you know, the saying goes, seize the opportunity. You only get one shot, Eminem, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You only get one shot, seize the opportunity, and that's exactly what I did.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. We don't know when these opportunities will come again, especially when you're able to migrate a family over.
Absolutely not. And the door's not going to be open. It's like an elevator door. It's going to close eventually. You know, and my friends thought I was crazy. I mean, I sold my Bentley. I sold my private plane. I sold my $1 million home, all within a 1-month period of getting my golden visa. We didn't plan. This is not years of planning. This is the most beautiful part about being an entrepreneur. You can do what you want, when you want, without having the permission to ask, right? Obviously, if you're married, you've got home minister at the house, your wife, right? But I said, hey, you know what? Do you want to move to the UAE? She goes, heck yeah, I want to go to, especially cultural, because my wife does a hijab as well.
Yep.
So, we absolutely loved the idea of moving here, and then the opportunity. It's kind of like the stacks were at the right time, the right place. Everything worked out. It aligned. But my friends thought I was crazy. My family thought I was crazy. Like, what? You're leaving? You're born and raised in America. I mean, we're the greatest country. Blah blah blah. Right? Yeah. Okay. Good job. Stay
So
here.
do you think then coming here, because here is all about entrepreneurship spirit, right? Throughout, I think throughout the backbone of this region, especially, it's all about entrepreneurship. And, and you're definitely an entrepreneur by far. But when you come here, do you think entrepreneurship is just luck, or is it a talent?
I think it's a bit of both. It's a little bit of luck. It's a little bit of talent, and being in the right place at the right time.
Because I remember you telling me, like, back, I think, was it before COVID or during COVID, where, was that when you took your first stab at YouTube, or have you been creating YouTube content for,
No, I started YouTube in 2017.
2017, so far beyond that. Okay.
Yes,
okay,
So end of 2017, I started YouTube, and it wasn't to make money, to be honest, right? It was more or less documenting my process. And then people started commenting and said, hey, how do you do this? Do you teach people? And for the first couple of years, I didn't have an education business, which now we do. And we've got well over 10,000 students in our community, in our real estate community in America. And it's been absolutely, amazing, because in the beginning, it started off as, hey, I'm just documenting my process, because really what happens is that when you're on social media, you're leaving a legacy behind for your children. My children are going to be able 30, 40, 50, 80 years, my grandchildren will be able to watch these videos of me, right? So you're documenting those processes for them and saying, hey, that's granddad right there. That's who built the legacy. It only takes one person to break the generational curse.
Yeah, I like that generation curse.
That's it. It only breaks one. Most people want to leave generational wealth behind, but they end up leaving generational curses like debt, right? And depreciating assets to their children. And that's what we don't want to do as an entrepreneur. And it takes that one crazy person in the family to break that generational curse. And yeah, that's I think that's what it is.
Especially in our culture, right? It's very hard to break.
Oh, 100%. Our culture, especially, I come from, my parents are Pakistani, and they're from Lahore. They migrated to the U.S. About in the 70s or so. I was born in America. My 4 siblings were born in America, and we lived an American lifestyle, right? And that's kind of what it was. And, in our culture, Desi culture especially, is either you're a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer.
Accountant.
That's it. Or an accountant, right? Oh, accountants are the new ones now, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you have to become a doctor, right? It's like, no, hold on there, right? And I think that's kind of what it was. And being raised by a single parent, I was raised by a single mother, and being able to retire my mom through real estate was like my biggest goal starting out in life. And when I knew when I made it, I want to be able to, retire my mom where she never have to work a day in her life. And then I hit the nail on the head twice by retiring my wife as well, because she was in the medical field. And I said, hey, we have enough rental income coming in now to where you no longer need to work. You don't have to go to work, right? You can just be in the business with me and do right. But she likes being a full-time mom. So I said, you know what? That's the toughest job in the world. Yeah. You don't get vacation. You do get vacation. You get badass vacations. Right? Depends on who you ask and the lifestyle. We have amazing vacations. But what I'm talking about is you don't get like sick leave. You don't get paid days off. Being a mother is a massive role, especially raising children. Because like I said earlier, either you're raising your children or the school system is raising your children. You figure out what you want to do. So shout out to my wife for being my backbone.
Well, I think shout out to my mom as well, because my mom, the way I see of that generation.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to sort of, manage, in my time, 3 kids, not really have much income coming in, but really to instill proper family values.
Yeah.
It's very hard. And now we're suffered by tech. So much tech of it is going around. Like my kids are playing Roblox all the time, and
Oh yeah, Fortnite, Roblox.
yeah.
Yeah.
The thing you're saying that your son's into Fortnite.
My
quite a
son
lot,
does compete on Fortnite as well.
and you realize that he's got a money making scheme going on there as well.
He actually does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yesterday he told me how much he actually has made in Fortnite. Over $1,000 by competing, and I'm like, where's this money at?
Yeah.
You gotta pay your taxes, buddy.
Exactly. I'm not here now.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's in my account and blah, blah, blah. So, oh, well, as long as it's not, as long as it's not, illegal selling drugs or God forbid or anything, and follow your passion because your passion leads you to your purpose. That's what it is. And people forget that. People follow the paycheck, and the paycheck usually leads people to a dead end. If you follow your passion leads you to the check. Follow the passion and the money follows you. That's how it is.
I set up a business here, and I was you learn something new here every time you experience something different, right? So I set up my own business here, and it took me less than 3 hours to have that business licensed, registered, and set up. Right? I thought, wow, if I was to do this back in the UK on Company's House, I'd be taking like a few days. It would probably take, it would take a lot more time.
It took me 3.5 hours.
Well,
you beat me on there.
Yeah.
So, but yes. So,
but tell me this,
wonderful.
man. Tell me this, man. Like, my aspiration as a kid was always to go to the US and live in the US and grow up in the US.
The American dream.
The American dream
has now become the American nightmare.
Well, the thing is, right? Okay, is with that, what do founders in the US, right? Like, what don't they learn from the UAE in the sense of that everything here is pretty much becoming automated. We have AI here. You even have AI speed cameras here now that can pick up if you're on your phone or not. Right? What is the one thing that US founders underestimate about the UAE? Because you must have a perception of the UAE before you came out here.
Yeah.
Or even before you even think of yourself last year, the year before, what the perception or the misconception of the UAE was. But as other founders or business entrepreneurs in the US, like, what are they underestimating the most about the UAE?
That's a great question. I think they underestimate the growth, the power of growth, because the UAE is less than Dubai. Right? Well, the UAE is less than 60 years old. They just celebrated the 54th anniversary, right? 54th Independence Day. Dubai, this entire growth that's happening in Dubai right now is less than 20 years. I talk to taxi drivers and they say, oh, this wasn't here 20 years ago. The Burj wasn't here. This wasn't here. Business Bay wasn't here, right? None of this was here. And it blows my mind to see the advancement. And I think America is in such a bubble where we just know, we're blind. And I'm guilty of this as well because, you have your blinders on and you're fed a certain agenda by the media and the greatest country in the world, the US, that's what, greatest in what? Greatest in homelessness?
Yeah.
The biggest in what? The biggest in crime, right? The biggest in what? The biggest in incarceration. Come on, guys. You have to understand that at the end of the day, if you don't take care of your people, your country will not grow. And that's one thing I love about the Sheikh is he runs Dubai like a company, right? And that's why it's flourishing and it's growing, and that's all I can really say. And one of the things is, Americans have a notion of everything is so like to the point. You smile, you get a ticket, you get this, you get a ticket, you get this, right? No, it's not like that. You have freedom of expression, freedom of religion, like whatever, especially again, at the end of the day, it's about going out there and exploring the world, because ultimately people have to understand you're not a tree, you're not a stump, so you can't stay at one spot forever. If you got a passport, go travel. Dubai is the most visited city in the world, breaking its own records, right? With the tallest building in the world, with the tallest hotels in the world, the big, the better, and they want to become number one in everything, and they really are. I've seen it now with the massive infrastructure. Let's talk about that. I mean, the infrastructure is what blew me away in Dubai. I'm like, oh my God. Like, let's not even talk about anything else. The infrastructure here is phenomenal, right? And one thing I do want to make a point of, is that people get lost in the glitz, in the glamour, in the Instagrammable locations, but they don't understand what Dubai is really about. Dubai is about tranquility because you get tranquility when you move here, right? It's about peace because when I was in America, I was a fast-paced entrepreneur, right? Micromanaging people and this and doing this and going to the offices and making sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to be doing. And and we want to do this as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. But in Dubai, I've gotten more than just. It's not about the glitz or the glamour or the Instagrammable or the Burj Khalifa or the Museum of the Future or the the Dubai frame, or it's about the tranquility the peace of mind. Oh man, I can't tell you the peace of mind. Alhamdulillah, the peace of mind that you get here when you move here, that you can't put a price on that for sure, because you are always stressed in America. And that's the number one killer in the world is stress, more than cancer, more than anything else, because it's unseen. You can't see stress, right? And your body kills you from within due to that stress levels. And it's not, I think moving to Dubai wasn't about the money. It's about the inner peace, which I've been able to achieve here.
Yeah.
And you're just happier.
And you get to see more of that. I mean, even looking at property development here is insane. I went to see a real estate a few weeks back, and it's just outside of Dubai. So you go like 20, 30 minutes out.
Dubai South?
More on the other side, more towards Global Village.
Global Village.
And
I'm talking like a local now. I had no idea about this.
Yeah.
Where you at? Yeah, okay, yeah. JVC? Okay, yeah.
But there's one called Gaff Woods.
Okay.
And
I've heard of that. Yeah.
What they will achieve is a forestry environment.
Yes.
Where it would be as if you're living in the forest. Lots of trees. The way they've constructed it, when you look at the artist's impression of it, you can go to the experience center. It's insane. It's phenomenal. I think, now don't quote me on this, but they are trying to make it that it will be a few degrees cooler than the other parts of Dubai.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Less humidity. And any vehicles will be underpass, will be underneath. So it basically is like transport free.
Really?
Yeah. So when you think about making the impossible possible, they have these amazing sort of initiatives that they try to bring, even from a way of living. You mentioned tranquility is why I mentioned this. And what you can get in Dubai is that you can get any type of experience, even from a living perspective. If you want to live in blue water, you can live the high life there if you wanted to. If you want to live in somewhere that's peaceful, like say is Gafus potentially. If you want to live somewhere that is, in the city, is downtown business Bay Area. If you want a bit of privateness, you can go to Bulgari Island if you wanted to, and buy one of these places and have a boat and a yacht, and you'd feel completely disconnected from Dubai.
It's just 40 million plus.
Yeah, exactly. Only that, right?
Yeah. You're like, you could just move there.
Exactly. Why not? Right?
Brother, Habibi, where's the money?
Give me
the money.
Okay, yeah.
You can live there if you want. Shit, we could go to the moon. But I'm telling you, man, with these, I don't want to name any developers, but they call them phase 1, phase 2.
Yeah.
Phase 10 of Dubai is going to be on the moon.
Yeah.
Right? Habibi, I'm here on the moon. We only got a few lots left. 10 minutes later, we're sold out. I love the sold out thing, by the way.
Yeah.
I love.
Have you been to see any yet?
I'm not going to say anything about any, developments here, but I love it how every 10 minutes, we didn't even start selling yet. It's sold out.
It sells out before it even sells out.
That's they're legit though. Wait a minute. How the hell does this thing sell out within minutes of just launching? And I'm like, this is real. And that's the beautiful part about Dubai. There's no, you could get the fake Instagram models here, right? You could get all that, but the property sales, brother, billions of dollars, this is exciting me right now. You're talking about billions of dollars a month, not a year, a month with Dubai. I mean, last month alone, they crossed 68 billion US dollars in sales. Wow. That's powerful, bro. That's money talks, bullshit walks. Come on.
Yeah. So how do you bring what you're doing or have been doing out of the US? to the Middle East?
So what I do is I create real estate content. That real estate can be in Timbuktu or Zimbabwe, Dubai, or Europe or wherever, right? What I bring is the energy for sure, right? Obviously, right? And it's the curiosity. I mean, there's a reason why I moved here, and more millionaires are moving here like no other. More people are eyeing Dubai. Let's talk about ROIs. Forget everything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about return on investments. When I was doing my research in Dubai, that's one of the things that America doesn't understand about Dubai. They're like, oh, why are you moving to Dubai? Bro, I'm getting my rental yields at 2 to 3% ROI in America on a rental property. In Dubai, it's 8 to 10%. Yeah. I'm not good at math, but I'm good at counting dollars. 8 to 10%, last time I checked, was bigger than 2 to 3%, right? And that's the biggest thing here. You can buy a property, you can rent it out and get those rental yields, for X amount, however long you want. And you don't have to live in Dubai to buy real estate, by the way. You don't. People say, oh, I don't want to move to Dubai. You don't move here then. It's cool. No worries. It's more for us, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, they want people to move here. They want people to grow their businesses here. And I think that's the biggest thing is that understanding the numbers. What do the numbers come at? I mean, there's a reason why there's over 60,000 plus realtors here. It's absolutely insane. By the way, I'm not a realtor. I'm not a broker.
There's too many here.
Yeah. I decided not to become a realtor. I decided not to become a broker here. I'm not a realtor or a broker in America. I am a real estate content creator. That's what I do. I promote real estate. So if any realtors are watching here, want to promote their content through my channel, man, hit me up, man. Let's do it, right? Let's get some eyeballs.
But the thing is, there's so many of them here.
Oh, it's a dime a dozen. It's just you pick up a rock, right? And you see a realtor. You go on social media, on Facebook. I'm looking to buy a property. Yeah. 200 requests within 30 seconds. Hey, I'm a realtor. Hit me up. Hey, I'm a realtor. Right?
Is it as regulated in the US?
Oh, heavily regulated. Yeah. Absolutely.
So here is kind of not in some respects. Which of the two sides would you be more leaning towards? Because regulation from a buying perspective, it makes it easier, right?
But one thing that Dubai has and the UAE has transparency. You can't get away with not being transparent here. At the end of the day, right? And you will find the good and the bad, no matter where you are at the end of the day, right? And there is a lot of lack of transparency in America as well. It's not just like it's all, fairy dust and all that stuff. But no, there is a lack of transparency in America. When you're doing real estate transactions, X, Y, and Z, sometimes the title company will put their own fees on top. Sometimes the buyers will end up paying more of the seller's fee. Sometimes the sellers will end up paying in the buyer's fee. So that's just kind of how it is, right? Yeah. And kickbacks obviously in America are illegal. I believe they're legal here as well. But it's all about taking care of your client. At the end of the day, any business you're in, I tell my employees all the time, and I tell my team, I call my team members. I don't like the word employees because I feel more like hey, go do this. That's not what I do. It's my team members. I tell my team members all the time, because full disclaimer, I'm just a glorified janitor in my office. I'm the guy cleaning, mopping the floor. You want a coffee? Hey, you're closing the deal right now? Let me make you a coffee because that guy's bringing me $1 million a year. Should I go make your coffee? Right? Yeah, obviously, right? Shit, let's do it, right?
Do what you got to do.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? People say all the time, Ron, you're so down to earth and you're this and that. Bro, where else am I going to be? I started from the mud. I know how it is living from the mud. I know how it is growing up through the mud, and I know how it is coming out of poverty. And obviously living a lifestyle now of having money and being able to do what we want when we want, with whomever we want now is a lifestyle change. But I've been there. I've done that. I grew up poor. I grew up very, very poor in America. And not everybody in America is rich, by the way, right? And it's insane. Insane. And the other day I made a post and that post said that, the wealthy in America are the middle class in Dubai.
Wow. Wow.
Right.
Wow. So you mean making rich people poorer here?
Yes. Yeah, because there's somebody going to be bigger than you in Dubai, right? You're driving a Bugatti. Here's a guy with another ultra luxury Bugatti, right? Here's a guy. You think you're the cool guy? Wait until the next guy, shows up. But let's go back to the ROI standpoint of it. But, especially saving money on taxes. America taxes you up to 40% of your income, right? We have an uncle there. Do you know the uncle? He's a famous uncle.
I've got so many uncles.
His name's Uncle Sam, and it's the IRS.
Okay.
Everybody's got an Uncle Sam in America.
Yes.
Right? And if you're single, you're married to Uncle Sam, and if you're married, it's a threesome with Uncle Sam because he's taking your money. Right? The government will come, and if you're married as a couple, you're paying your taxes. The government will come and take 40% of your income. So that means for every basically you make $100. The government will say, well, you owe us $40. Well, Mr. Government, what did you do? What work did you do for that? Nothing. No, we're just here. Dubai says, you know what? We don't need that. Habibi, keep your money. You're good. You're good.
It's almost like here that they want founders to be thinkers.
Yeah.
To really define societal change, behavioral change, adaptation, like this type of stuff.
We need entrepreneurs. I'm telling you, there's not enough. There's a lot of people who want to live the go to work, come home and get a paycheck to paycheck, but we need entrepreneurs. That's how this country will grow. Is people creating jobs. That's all it is. Right? Go out there and make an impact for people, create jobs. And my goal here is to create as many jobs as I can in the UAE as well. I mean, the US made me a multimillionaire. Dubai will make me a billionaire. I can tell you that. I want you to save this podcast 10 years from now. It may be 5 years, maybe, but I'm telling you.
And if I've not moved by then, it's
going to
be a very sorrow thing for me to look back on.
You're not going anywhere, brother. We're staying here. We're gonna build together. Right?
Inshallah.
Yes.
I mean, that's the thing about Dubai. It's just, if I take a step back from a second from, businesses. Now, when you set up your own business here, do you see the big difference in setting up a business here versus how you did set up in the US? Is it become a lot more easier for you to be able to get shit done that you couldn't get done before?
Apples and oranges, brother. Absolutely. There's a big difference.
Talk about
huge difference.
Right. Like what?
Okay, there's a lot of red tape in America. When you want to create a company, you've got to get an EIN, and then you've got to set up your taxes on that company, and then you've got to figure out how much you owe on that, and you got to set all this up beforehand, right? In Dubai, you make a phone call, boom, your business is ready within 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not even 2 hours, right? There's people working in the background to get this done quickly because we're not waiting here. That's a beautiful part about Dubai and the UAE in general. I keep saying Dubai because, you want me to give you one big misconception in America?
Yeah.
People think Dubai is a country. That's a big misconception in America.
Yes,
They're like, bro, why are you moving to Dubai? It's a country. No, it's not a country. It's a city.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so massive. It has to be a country. No, bro. Dubai is one of the Emirates. You have, Sharjah and Abu Dhabi and Ras Al Khaimah and then Fujairah. You have so many of these other Ajman, and you have so many of these Emirates. And Dubai plays. Imagine, Dubai is playing a small part in the success of the UAE, and there's nothing small about Dubai, by the way.
No,
right? It's playing its small part, and people think, man, Dubai's a country. That's a massive misconception. So going back to business setup, very tax friendly, brother. Very tax friendly. The government wants you to come and build companies here. They want you to build portfolios here, asset protection. You have massive asset protection here. It's not about what you make, it's about what you keep here, right? Because the goal for us as entrepreneurs is not only build what we build, but is to be able to pass things down to our children, right? Go create a will in America. Oh my God, it is the worst experience you will ever have.
Wow.
Creating, my wife and I are going through that right now, the will process, because going through a probate is one of the worst experiences you could put your children through. Are you familiar with the probate?
No, explain.
A probate is when you pass away and you own properties in whatever country, whatever it is.
Right.
A probate is when you don't have a will set up, and now it's up to the courts to distribute those properties.
Wow.
Right? Take the Ambanis, for example. The first ever Ambani to create, not Mukesh or his brother Ambani, their father left them without a will. And they were in courts for years, fighting over who gets industrial, who's going to get telecommunication. If the dad had left a will, that problem would not be there, right? So history has a way of teaching us this as an entrepreneur. And I look up to entrepreneurs like the Musks, like the Ambanis, right? And the Trumps, right? I mean, whatever you say about the guy, He's a savvy businessman. He took $1 million loan from his father to make it a multi-billion-dollar empire. And people don't understand. You understand the gap between $1 million and $1 billion? It's massive, right? So I study these people, the Rockefellers, right? I don't know if you're familiar with the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, the Rothschild family, right? You have to study these people in order to learn their ways. There's a book that I would recommend to your followers. It's by Rothschild, I believe, and it's called The 36 Letters to My Son. These are real letters that he wrote to his son.
Okay.
Rothschild did. And I can't remember the actual name of the book, but yes, another one of my favorite book is E-Myth Revisited. We talk about business automation, delegation, duplication.
Yep.
It talks about working on your business and not in your business. That's what it is, right? Because business entrepreneurs are working in their business and they're making a mistake. They should be working on the high level stuff in their businesses because if they don't turn the key, they don't make money. So that's one of my favorite books.
How does an entrepreneur then? Most entrepreneurs suffer from anxiety, right? Because they want to get shit done now.
Woo, massive levels of anxiety.
How do you control it and stay within their own swim lane?
Go work out, bro.
Go work out.
Go do something. Go walk. Yeah. My anxiety now is, people tell, I had to learn this a lot way too, right? In America, when I needed to go take a walk, I had a gun by my side. Whoa. Right? I'd be walking down the street. Yeah, this is America, bro. That's America. Absolutely. You got to make sure you're walking in the middle of the night. Nobody's robbing you. Nobody's going to stab you or shank you or take your jewelry or your expensive watch or whatever. Dubai, you can walk around freely. Today, last night, my wife, my children, we had a nice dinner and then we're walking alongside the Burj Al Arab, right? Come on, it's 1 a.m. in the morning. It's peaceful, right? We're walking around the Burj Khalifa. It's peaceful. Over here, safety, security is the absolute best in the world. I guarantee you that, or on any planet, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what good is your money if you're not safe? What good is your money if you're not secure? It doesn't matter if you're making $2 in America or $2 million. If you don't feel safe walking around in the country that's supposed to protect you, no way. The police here, oh my God, brother. The police here, phenomenal job. What they do here, they do. In America, they're beating up police officers in LA. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's being promoted. It's insane in America. What's happening right now? The law and order it's not there. At the end of the day, in LA, I don't know if you know this or not, but if you loot and it's under $1,000, you can get about this now. Yeah, you get away with it. It's not a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a couple of Xboxes for Christmas, son. I just stole from Target. Right?
They're on sale now.
It was on 5-finger sale. It's free. 4-finger sale. FREE.
But that must bother you a little bit, though, right? Having grown up in the US your entire life, to suddenly see. I mean, it upsets me in the UK that it's progressing, but it's not progressing the way it could be progressing, or it's developed as it is.
Sure.
Talk about the BRICS countries, where you have got Brazil, Russia, India, China, and you got Saudi Arabia there now. These are countries that are to be like the Dubai, and you already see it. I don't know if you've been to Saudi yet, but Saudi in itself, man, like I get goosebumps every time I go. I get goosebumps every time I talk about it, because that is also one country that is going at full speed ahead. They have got giga projects, mega projects that are going left, right, and center. You go there today, and then you go there maybe in 6 months' time, completely transformative in some places.
They deserve it. I mean, how much time are you going to be riding camels? You're not going to do it forever. You got to develop, guys. That's how it is, right? And that's the beautiful part about the GCC, right? I'm talking about Saudi, Oman, Qatar, UAE, right? Bahrain, I believe, is in the GCC as well. And that's the beautiful part about it. And that's the reason they're growing at a rapid pace, because they want to grow, right? America is always talking about being number one. It's not anymore. And it's pissing a lot of people off in America that, man, why are we not number one anymore? Number one in what? Healthcare? Oh, don't get me started. Don't even get me started on healthcare in America. It is an epidemic. epidemic. It's insane
Even
what's
the
going on.
private system.
Even the privates. Oh, there's no, forget about public, private. You're getting screwed everywhere. Over here, I didn't know there was a private healthcare here as well until I came to the UAE, by the way. In America, you're fed, but it's just healthcare. It's just healthcare.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an epidemic. That's why America is number one in something, obesity rate.
Okay.
Right? Some of the heaviest people.
Shit.
You know,
You don't want that flag, right?
you don't want that. You don't want that flex, right? Absolutely not. And it's crazy what's going on right now because, at the end of the day, it's big business for them.
So true.
It is what it is.
Right. Bro, I've got a fire round. I'm going to throw a few questions at you. Okay. No fluff around this. You can say it how you see it. Right?
Okay.
Let's see where we go, right? Because we're coming towards the end of our segment. Okay. So you got 3 seconds to answer. Let's see where we go. Real estate investing in 2025. Gold mine saturated or dead?
I think it's gold mine and it's going to grow.
Okay.
It's going to grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Content creation as a business strategy. Essential, overrated, or vanity?
No, it's as essential as breathing now. You got to be out there. You got to get the exposure. In our language, in Urdu, they say, "Jo dikta hai wo bikta hai," right? Whatever you can see is what's going to be sold. So it's content creation is just getting started, baby. That's it. The new age of content creators is coming up.
God, I think my dad creates content as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll subscribe to him.
Moving to UAE for business. Strategic moves, tax play, or trend classing?
I think it's a strategic move because trends die and fade. Strategy never dies.
Ah, nice. I like that. Okay. AI tools for entrepreneurs. Leverage, crutch, or replacement?
It's a leverage because here's the reason why. AI will not replace humans. Humans who understand AI will replace humans.
I almost know the answer to the next one. The US grind versus UAE efficiency. Which made you better?
The US has given me a platform to build my businesses, which I'm eternally grateful for. I will always be eternally grateful for. But there's a devil at every level, right? My next levels are now in the UAE, and the UAE has given me now a lifestyle.
Amazing. Okay, most overrated entrepreneurial advice right now.
The most overrated entrepreneur advice is keep believing in yourself. It's the most overrated advice. You can only go far in believing yourself. I mean, the sky's not going to turn purple if you believe it is purple. You got to go do the work.
True. 100%. Better teacher, success or failure?
Failure. 100%. Failure will teach you lessons that success will never be able to teach you.
And then if you had no dollars and had to start all over today, where would you start? The US or the UAE?
UAE creating content.
To create content.
That's it. Creating content, being in front of people. Lead generation is your business, your lifeline, and your bloodline. The person who can generate leads and learn sales will never go hungry ever in their life.
True, man. One founder who's underrated that people should watch.
One founder who's underrated that people should watch? I think Elon Musk. Elon Musk is truly underrated. In America, he's put on a pedestal everywhere, but Elon should be studied. I'm not a fan of Tesla. I'm a fan of Elon Musk. And I told you that when I saw you. Yes, I'm a fan of his. And before him, it was Steve Jobs. For creating Apple. These are the guys that are changing the world. But yes, you should definitely look into his journey and where he's come from. Because he said the people, one quote that Elon told ABC News was that he said the people that I thought would support me became my biggest barriers in business. So that's why they always say never meet your heroes. You'll be disappointed.
I like that one. Like that one.
That's why I can't meet Shah Rukh Khan.
I'm sure you might meet him somewhere.
Yes. I'm a massive fan of SRK. I'm afraid that if I meet him, I'll be done.
Oh, no way, man.
He's going to be watching. He's like, you know what? I got to meet that guy. Yes. No. But at the end of the day, I think that's what it is. Because you have a perception of one person and you want to keep that perception. Right. But not in my case. People meet me. I'm the same guy, man, on or off the screen.
Look, man, if for those who are watching, listening, even for my own kids, for goodness sake, I think, what are founders overlooking that they should be choosing to really focus on when they start to build something?
I think it's your purpose. What is your purpose of building the company? Because most founders lose the North Star while they're building the company, right? What is my goal? Where do I want to go in my company? And yes, it is going to change, but don't lose that foundation. Most founders lose their company. Most founders lose their company core values.
Yeah.
Right? You got to have core values in your company.
You got to retain that, right?
It's like a home foundation.
Yeah.
If your foundation is weak in a home, that entire structure will crumble.
So true. Ron, we're coming towards the end of our show.
Yeah.
I've got one section that I normally do in the show, which is called Espresso Encounters. I'm going to put 2 questions here, 2 cards.
Oh, wow.
And you're going to choose one of them.
Okay.
And one of them is something that's already been written by a guest.
Okay.
In the past. And one of them's already a predefined question, which I already thought about before we got in this morning. So.
Oh, I have to pick one.
You pick one, man.
Fantastic. All right. Let's go with this
What's
one.
that one? Oh, you got a question there.
All right. Given how the world is right now, what's the kindest thing you've done for someone in the past 2 weeks? Oh, man.
So more relevant.
That's extremely relevant. Oh, man, the kindest. See, the things that I used to dream about that
he's smiling. He's like saying, he's not done anything kind.
Right? He's like, no, it kind of giving my kids a shelter. No. I
see, that's making you think now.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking, is this the right thing to flex about or say, because this is a lifestyle. It's very normal for us. Giving $1,000 tip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a flex or yes, it was to a noon delivery driver.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah, so these guys work their asses off. They work their behind off. They were working this was recently in the rain when we had the floods. My wife needs her karak. But we ordered some food. Guy was on time. I don't want to put this out there into the, it's fine. It may motivate somebody. But helping someone out in the hardest of times, what's easy for us to do.
Yeah.
And you could tell I'm uncomfortable talking about this because I don't want to be a show off type of, because $1,000 to someone like myself or even you it's not a lot of money anymore. It used to be when we didn't have money, but money is only used as an object. That $1,000 may have paid for his child back home in India or Pakistan for the next, 2-3 years of education.
Yeah.
I don't know,
True,
right?
True.
That money could have probably helped him get from that, that living space into an apartment now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could have helped him somehow, some way. But that's one of the things we did. I remember when the flood had happened, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do something for this guy.
Well, funny you say that. What we did during the floods was in my community, we were like, try not to order any delivery services.
Shit, we ordered.
so you're not putting the drivers at risk.
Yeah.
Just refrain from it.
But to our I guess to our thing, it's more or less like the shop was right next to the house, and it's all good. He didn't have to go from Dubai to Ajman or anything like that. No. It was very local, very near. Hooked him up. And the guy keeps requesting, hey, can I make any more deliveries? I was like, no, bro, you're good. But I appreciate what what he did. But I think that's pretty much it. We do what used to be luxury for me, what used to be, kind of the right thing to do and to people. The problem is when people are on social media, they want to do the right thing. Right? But they want to show it off as well. Like, hey guys, I'm here right now. Here's a homeless guy. I'm about to buy him a burger. Make sure you smash the like button. That's not what we're here for, guys.
No.
Make an impact on people, but make it the right way, right? Sometimes your biggest fan is watching you, right? And that's the guy upstairs.
Of course. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all the time.
I mean,
right?
Yeah.
God is always watching you. Your right shoulder, your left shoulder, they're writing stuff down, and I think that's what it is between you and your Lord, whatever you do, at the end of the day. Actually, I want to share one crazy thing that happened to me. I went to Abu Dhabi, the Grand Mosque for Jummah namaz. and I was trying to donate money. They're like, no, we don't accept what? That was the first time. I've never heard a mosque not accept donate. I don't know if I was being rude or okay, because as Jummah, it's Jummah namaz, you want to donate money, and it's the Muslim thing to do. Like, hey, I want some, we want some sawab, and we want some, hey, I want to donate money. I love the mosque, and make sure, all that. He's like, no, we don't accept donations here. I was like, really? Oh, wow. This is a new, I went to my wife. I was like, man, they don't accept donations. Like, what do you mean they don't accept donation? Where is
they have an app for that? Sure.
Yeah, that's insane. That, and I learned about that later on, which was really cool, actually. I like that. It's coming to the UAE has been massively refreshing. Right. And people say all the time, like, oh, if you do crime in the UAE, you're going to go to jail. If you do that, man, if you're looking for crime, you're going to end up there. Big misconception. People in America is like, oh, they'll jail you for this, they'll jail you for that, or blah, blah. You do. Obviously, if you're looking to do bad things, you're going to go to jail in any country. Don't come to a country and think you're going to commit crimes here, right? And nothing's going to happen to you. It's not going to happen, guys, And that's the beautiful part about this country, is that they want to, again, want to make sure they have people in line.
True.
And you're not going to find that anywhere in the world.
Ron, thanks for your honesty. Thanks for coming. It's been an honor to have you on here. This was just not talking about moving countries. This was talking about grit versus systems and how you get shit done in a country that is much more autonomous than maybe other places that we've lived in the past. So I want to thank you. And and anything else you want to add?
Thank you so much. No, thank you so much for having me on your podcast. If any of your followers want to follow my journey and what I'm doing here in the UAE, drop it below. Ron Rana 1. Make sure your team edits that right there. I'm so used to dropping below. But yeah, would love to add any type of value. Ask me questions about entrepreneurship. We'll try and help you guys. Many people may have golden visa questions.
By all means,
we're here to help.
Awesome.
Whatever.
And guys, if this is something that's without a doubt would have inspired you, or got you thinking about setting up a business or buying property, or even think about anything like Ron has said, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, and until next time, peace.